So this week, we're going to talk about stars and planets. You can find this in your textbook on page 90 and 91, okay? Textbook, page 90 and 91. All right, so I have a lot of links right here, okay? And these links, I'll be sending them to you one by one, and they're all deep information from the National Geographic website, okay? And also some important life worksheets, and also reading comprehension and things that is relating to this topic. So everything, the research, the articles and essays are here. So these are the links. I'll send them to you. We're going to watch a National Geographic documentation about stars and planets. So buckle up, guys. We are about to lift off to space. Okay, next. All right, so I divided my vocabulary into two sides. Teacher, can you go to the next one? Let's take out the next one. Yeah, better. All right, so these are lists of important vocabularies for this chapter, okay? And like I always said, vocabularies are very important. Okay, they're very, very important. In fact, they're actually more important than the real topic, because once you understand the vocabularies, then you will be able to understand the information, okay, in the textbook or what I'm going to teach you. And also you'll be able to understand what different word means, okay? Now here, the first word we have is North Pole, okay? So what is North Pole? North Pole is the point in the North Hemisphere where the Earth meets its surface, okay? So I have some pictures, I'm going to show it to you. So I don't want to waste too much time on this, but when we get to the class, we're going to talk about it in detail. All right, number two, astronomical object. So astronomical objects are objects that are found in space. So for example, moon, stars, sun, galaxies, everything basically, comets, all these things that you find in space are called astronomical objects. The next word is counterclockwise. So this is when a thing moves into an opposite direction. Okay, opposite direction. So for example, our clock moves in a clockwise direction. Now, when it moves on the opposite direction, this is called the counter or the anti-clockwise direction. You get me, right? All right, the next word is constellation. Constellation. Now, constellation is a group of stars that form an image in the sky. So, group of stars that form an image, okay, or pattern in the sky. And you can only see this at night. Now, the next word is the star trail. Star trail. Now, the star trail is the movement of stars, okay, in a circular form, okay. The next word is zenith. Zenith. Now, zenith is the point above you. So this happens when we are going to talk about the star map, the measurements of different angles in the sky. So this is when this word is going to come in again. Okay, so the celestial sphere and all these angles and different angles. All right, so you're going to know about zenith. Now the next word is the celestial equator. All right, this is an imaginary line that does what? Or circle as equator of Earth. So it's in your textbook, page 91. You can see the imaginary line that flows or that is drawn across the middle section of Earth. All right. Horizon. Now, horizon is a great circle on a celestial sphere. Okay, it's a great circle. All these things I'm telling you is already, we have the images to show you, and also you've got a lot of detail in your textbook as well. All right, the last word, of course, the opposite of north is south, right? So South Pole is the 2 point where Earth's axis of rotation intersects its surface, all right? So it's all direction. We have the North Pole, the South Pole, and all these are what? Just different directions. Next, please, teacher. Okay, so the star overview, let's have an overview of what it is. Now, we see many stars on a clear night sky. Our planet, our nearest star is the sun, okay? Our nearest star is the sun. So we see so many stars on a clear night sky. At night, the sky is clear. We can see a lot of what? A lot of stars. They are all in space that is outside the atmosphere of the Earth. Do you know any other objects out there? So do you know any other objects out there in space? Do you know them? I'm sure you can mention them. The asteroids, the comets, the galaxies, other planets. Okay, all these are example of what? astronomical object. Remember, we talked about that in the vocabularies. That's why I said vocabularies are very important. Next. All right, so what is a star? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Now, stars are ball of gases, okay, made up of mainly hydrogen and helium. Okay, it's very hot. Okay, it gets so hot by burning the gas. The stars give out what? Heat and light. So, of course, stars gives out heat, okay, and light. What else do we know about stars? Stars have different sizes. The big, small, very big, very tiny, all right? The nebula, they come in different sizes, okay? Different sizes. And we have billions of stars, okay, in the universe. All right, what else? It is impossible to know how many stars exist, okay? It's impossible to know how many stars exist. Wow, that's a lot. But the astronomers estimate that in our Milky Way galaxy alone, there are about 300 billion stars. Wow, that's a lot. So in our Milky Way, all right, alone, there are about, this is estimated, this is not an actual fact, this is estimated. This shows you like 300 billion stars in our Milky Way alone. That's a lot. That's a lot. All right. Now, next one. The life cycle of a star spans billions of years. So it means that it can stay, can last, can survive for billions of years. That is how long stars can live for. All right. Some stars shine more brightly than others. So some stars shine very bright. Some stars shine not so bright. But they all have what? Different brightness. Okay. Good. Next. Now, types of stars. There's so many types of stars. There's so many stars in a galaxy. Okay, in the universe, there's so many stars, and these are just a few of them that the astronomers took out to actually explain their characteristics. Okay, and how they behave. All right, basically. So we have the red giant star. We have the red supergiant star, we have the blue giant star, we have the white dwarf star, we have the yellow dwarf star, we have the red dwarf star, we have the brown dwarf star. So all these are different types of stars. Remember, there are more than 300 billion stars in the galaxy. All right, next. Okay, so we're done with stars. That was the first one, A section. Now we're going to move into B. We're moving into B right now, constellations. Okay, so remember I told you in the vocabulary that constellation is a group of stars that form an image in the night sky, or a pattern. If you don't want to say image, you say pattern. Okay, they form a pattern in the sky. Now there are 88 total constellations in the world. Okay, 88, that's a lot. Total constellation in the world. The stories behind the constellations were stories that poets, farmers, and astronomers have made up over past 6,000 years. Excuse me. Okay, so these are different stories that poets, farmers have made up concerning constellation for so many years. All right. Okay, so there are dozens of constellations. There are a lot of them. Many are named for mythical figures. All right, such as the Cassiopeia, the Orion, the Hunter. Others are named for the animals they resemble, such as Ursa Minor, Little Bear, and Canis Major. We have the big dog. So all these are named from what? From animal that they resemble in the night sky. Okay, so the Ursa Major, the Ursa Minor, they look like what? Zoological names. Okay, images. You see that Leo, of course, looks like a lion. We have the Virgo, we have the Scorpio, we have the Libra, Sagittarius, Capricorn, you know, Aries, Aquarius, Taurus, Gemini. So many of them. Okay, so many of them. All right, but we're going to get to them in details. Next. So now let's talk about the Ursa Major. Now the Ursa Major is the big and little bit deeper. Okay, the constellations called Ursa Major and Ursa Minor are named after bears. Okay, bears. So they look like it. So some of them are called from the animals that they resemble. Okay. Now the meaning of resemble, muan. Okay, in Thai. All right. Ursa Major actually means great bear, and Ursa Minor means smaller bear. We have major means big, minor means small. All right. So this is a type of constellation. Next, teacher. So the cross is the Southern Cross. This is a prominent constellation in the northern sky. It is the smallest of all 88 constellations. This is the smallest of all 88 constellations, and it's quite easy to find this even in the night, anytime basically. So you can find the star right here. This forms the image of cross, and it's called cross. Okay, good job. Next, we have the Orion. So the Orion is the winter constellation. You find this during the winter season, and the Orion is one of the brightest. It's really bright. Once you go out at night and you look at Orion, you're gonna know that is Orion constellation up in the sky. So this is really associated with the Greek methodology, the story behind it. There's a lot of story behind it, and hopefully I can find a movie from National Geographic Channel to show you about constellations. Next. All right, so we have different exercises to do, and this is for you to identify which of these patterns. So you have to tell me the names just by looking at the pictures, the images. Of course, some of them you already know. That's Leo. This is cross. So this is going to be your homework. You have to identify it and then tell me the names. Next. Okay, now let's talk about zodiac signs. Some of you may know this already, but some of you may not. So, of course, you know the 12 signs of zodiac is in order. We have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August till December. So each month represents what? A different zodiac. So a lot of people believe in this. The northern zodiac signs constellation are the Pisces. We have the Pisces, we have the Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and Leo. These are located in the eastern celestial hemisphere. All right, and we have the Southern, which is the Virgo, Libra, Scorpios, Sagittarius, Capricorns, and Aquarius are found in the west. All right. Okay, so next time, just find out what month you're born in and check which of the zodiac sign belongs to you. Okay. All right, and that brings us to the planets. Okay, planet, and right now, as you can see in the PowerPoint, we have Mercury, we have Earth, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Saturn, and Neptune. So all these are what? Planets in the solar system. And we're going to talk about them in detail, the characteristics of each and every one of these planets. Mercury, the distance from the sun, Earth, the distance from the sun, and the nicknames, and all this information about them. We're going to talk about them in details, okay, in the next class. So here you have it, guys. We've talked about the stars, the planet, we talked about the constellations, we talked about the zodiac signs, we talked about the planets. So we are going to talk about this in the next class in details. All right, next. And I've got for you a live worksheet. Okay, I'm going to send it to you in line so we can start off from there. Okay, thank you very much for having me, P5. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.